Hey guys, Train Freak here, and I'm going to give you my layout update for the week. I've done a little bit of track work. We've had a few cooler days, and I've also did a little bit of wiring, which I'm not going to show you much of that. I mean, I can kind of show you above the layout, but I'm not going to try to climb up under it. I will probably, when I get to the point of showing y'all my wiring, I will end up doing that for like level 2, where I can just easily show the camera up under. Which I've got a lantern here that kind of helps with that, and I'm sure you've seen my lantern in some of the older videos. But what I ended up doing was, well, better yet, why don't I just show you? But before I show you, why don't I remind you too, and make sure you fill in the bell so that way you get the future notifications, because with those notifications you're going to be able to find out when I open up my next contest. Right now I currently have prizes for O scale, HO, and N scale. If there's enough people interested in Z scale, I will add Z to the list. And since I've got my new logo created, which you can see as my channel icon, I'm thinking about maybe getting some, t-shirts or some type of swag made as well. I'm working on a rep for that. But like I said, make sure you subscribe, because as soon as I hit 180, I will open that contest up. I checked this morning, I'm at 142, so I've gained 2 since my last video, which is awesome. Thank you for your support, by the way. But with further ado, let me go ahead and show you what all I've been working on as far as my layout. Alright, so I know this looks a little different, and I temporarily moved the roundhouse up there on top of that box because I needed to kind of do some work behind it, and I didn't have it mounted in. Now my machine shop, it ain't going nowhere. It's actually pretty solidified. But like I told you in the last video, I had a double track going to the Helix, and I told you I was going to take out that single slip, which I had it here somewhere. I must have put it up. Oh well. And that passenger car right there, it's actually sitting on top of a number 6. Now, I have this kind of jumpered right now because I don't have everything wired in. And, like I said, I've got my wiring, but my wiring ends right here, right where this 45 is. So all the way that way, I've got 2 1x4s going up under, because I built this in different sections. And I don't have the bus coming from over here to over here yet, and so I'm actually getting a feed coming off this caboose track from right here. So I just did that just enough as far as testing, just to make sure that, hey, the Helix, looky there, I've made it track and row bed wise. I've got 1 full turn because the incline starts over there. And I will tell you, putting an office chair in the middle of this was probably the smartest thing, because when you're working on a low level, it's much easier sitting than being stumped over. But I think once I get another level on there, I'll have to get that chair out and probably put in a step stool. We'll see. But I do have it, like I said, this was originally 2 tracks. Now this is not dead center. It's actually a little offset this way, and that's to make sure that the longer cars, such as that passenger car, and even things, like the green giant car there. I mean, that's a 60-foot box car, I think. And then, of course, I've got some of these center beams here, too. And I do plan on getting some 80-foot box cars as well. I want to make sure that they do not hit the uprights. So instead of being dead center, I mean, it's almost centered, but it's not centered. Centered would actually be about right here where this rail is. So I'm just a quarter of an inch that way. But I did do a test, just kind of running that train. I run it back up and down, just to kind of see how it goes, to make sure that I'm not getting any derails, especially on the cars that's got 6 axles instead of 4, because they tend to derail easier. And they do require a bigger radius than a lot of the other cars. I mean, most of the cars on my layout could operate on an 18-inch radius. These Walters Classic ones here, which I've only got 2. I just pulled 2 out of my set. I got a full set. Those require 24-inch minimum. So, yeah. And as far as, you know, radius for a Helix, I think this one's big enough. Oops, sorry for my finger. I think this one's big enough. I didn't really measure. I want to say this one's probably 28, 29, maybe 30 inches radius. For y'all who have Helixes, tell me, you know, if it's a single track, or if it's, you know, let me know what your radius is. If it's a double track, let me know what your outside radius is. Because your outside track's going to allow more flexibility than your inside track will. And I'm just curious to see. But basically what I ended up doing on my Helix here, I made a template and I measured everything out, and I cut out my template here. And basically what I do is I screw this onto a sheet of 1/2-inch plywood, and I've got a router, and I will route around it. And so I have 8 pieces. 8 pieces will make one full circle. And that way I can end up saving on plywood. So that's how I was able to do that. And then the uprights on the bottom are originally 2x4s, and that's to give that bottom layer better support. But after I climb one full turn, can't see it, but right there is where it starts. Then I went to 1x4s. And I have, you know, from there on, all of them are cut the exact same length. I'm going literally 4 inches up. So from the top of the plywood on that bottom level to the top of the plywood, that's exactly 4 inches. So in a 4-inch climb, it is more than enough for a high cube box car. Right now, the tallest car that I do have is a flat car with a 18-wheeler trailer on it. And, I mean, I can get more than my fat sausage fingers between the plywood and the top of that 18-wheeler car. So, I know it's going to be plenty tall enough for auto racks, and if I ever decide to do double stack containers. So, well, y'all, this is pretty much where I'm at. Like I said, not much difference. Basically, you know, just taking out that double track on the Helix, trying to save some track. And because, man, the cost of track's going up. It's crazy. The last price I got from my hobby shop was like $6.50 for one 3-foot stick of Atlas Superflex Code 100. I mean, it's just insane. The way the prices have gone up over the past 10 years. I got in this hobby back in, I want to say 2009, maybe 2010, or it might have been a little before that, and I remember when Flex Track was like $2.50 a stick. So the price has just gone way, way up. But with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign on off. Y'all have a great weekend, rest of the weekend. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe so that way you will be eligible for my 200 subscriber contest giveaway. And, you know, make sure you shade in the bell so that way you get notified, you know, of my future videos, including the video when that contest will open. And then to help, you know, make sure you hit the thumbs up. It helps with YouTube's algorithms. Feel free to share this on your channel or your Facebook or whatever. You know, helping get my name out there is going to help get more people subscribed faster, which means contests come at a more rapid pace. And, you know, because I'm one of those that I do like to give things away. So, and let's see, feel free to comment, you know. Alright, well, I'm going to let y'all have at it. I'm going to go watch my kid play on his slip and slide real quick, and before the day's over with. And y'all be safe out there. Have a great rest of the weekend. And happy railroading.